Hey everyone, how's it going? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little Manchester United news video for you. Latest rundown of all the day's news, night's news, evening's news, and all the day's news. That's what we're going to get into. We're going to cover it all in this video, so do get yourself involved in the live chat throughout. Have your say throughout. It's an interactive show. Get involved, people out there. Get yourself in the live chat. Do get your thoughts and opinions in about anything we're discussing. Also, smash the like button at the start of this stream. Hit the like on it. Give it a share on social media if you want. And all that good stuff. Thank you very much to everyone who's already in here and joining us. Let me just see who we've got. Rushmano, what's going on? Cool homies. Old Dirty Benjo. Ezio Odator. Griffo Chaz. Alex Walker. Shazad Ahmed. Flying Pig Fan. A whole bunch of legends getting in here already. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, to start with the latest news video, obviously United back to training today, which is brilliant. So Manchester United gave us an update. They issued a training update. United players started have returned to training at Carrington on a staggered basis. The complex was closed for first team operations last week due to a COVID-19 outbreak at the club, but opened again this morning, Tuesday. Hence, this will now give interim manager Ralph Rangnick and his squad time to prepare for our next fixture, the Premier League meeting with Newcastle United at St James's Park on Monday the 27th of December, 8 p.m. kickoff. Unfortunately, the games against Brentford and Brighton and Hove Albion were postponed as the club had no option but to request that the matches were rearranged. The Premier League board took the decision to call off the fixtures based on guidance from medical advisors. On Monday, the Premier League issued a statement declaring the intention to continue with the festive programme where possible, despite the impact of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. United are also scheduled to face Burnley next week on Thursday the 30th of December at Old Trafford. That may well be behind closed doors. We just don't know at this moment in time. There's some talks to suggest that it's looking likely that they may well look to impose a no fans policy soon. So we'll have to wait and see until we hear anything more concrete about that. But that sounds absolutely gash. Obviously, it does lose a lot there not being any fans in the stadiums. But there we go. So Manchester United back at it. Let me just show you this. So that's not what I want to show you. This is what I wanted to show you. Of course, 20 players back at training at Carrington. They're doing it on a staggered basis. So training opened this morning. Absolutely get in there, my son. So that's great. Hopefully we will be able to field a team against Newcastle on the 27th. Hopefully not just a team of kids either. So the status at this moment is if there's 14 fit players that have some sort of first team experience, then you should be sort of made to field a team, I think is the current situation. 18 likes. Hey everyone, thank you very much, Rushmano. Hit the thumbs up button if you're getting in here. Do smash the like. That'll give us a boost up there on the algorithm. Get your thoughts and opinions in and smash a soo in the live chat as well to make your presence known. Nice one. So good news anyway. We got players back at training, back at Carrington. This is obviously very, very important for us to get a decent preparation for the game against Newcastle after Christmas, which seems still like ages away at this moment. Yes, there is indeed, Flying Pig Fan. Kamara or Haidara? Well, this is what we're going to get into shortly, my son. So that's the first bit of news, really. Is just that players are back at training, which is great. And hopefully we'll be better prepared, for the Newcastle game. We'll have to wait and see. We've got to smash the Geordies up, don't we? Right then. Okay, let's get into the transfer news then, because this is what this video is about. And that is Manchester United report Marseille Wonder Kid is close to being confirmed potentially as Ralph Rangnick's first signing in the coming days. This is what's been reported by various places. 442, also Manchester Evening News said that United have the advantage over any rivals at the moment, pursuing Boubacar Kamara and other transfers, such as Haidara as well at this moment in time. But it's like you just said, Haidara or Kamara, that is the question. I'll just pose it to the live chat. What do you guys think? Who would you rather see come in? Obviously, Rangnick has this working interest and this working experience with Haidara before. He's playing over in the Bundesliga. I mean, in terms of what I know about either of these two players, I'm only going on what I've read. I mean, I've got like because I haven't seen that much football from these two. But Marseille Academy graduate Boubacar Kamara, one of the hottest prospects in France as of now. He's only, 22, is he? I think he's 21 or 22. He's already got like 100 League One appearances. He's played a few different seasons as well for Marseille coming through the ranks. Basically, his statistical profile shows that he is basically a ball winner in multiple different forms. So he's a presser, he's a jeweler in terms of winning 50-50s and tackles and things like that. He's also an interceptor. He's comfortable when he's against the press and he's comfortable when he's a part of a team press himself. He's basically typically Marseille's deepest midfielder in possession, comfortable in drawing opponents in through ball retention, then bypassing them through silky footwork. Or combinations with teammates. A trademark of his are diagonal balls from the left side of the pitch to the right flank. So this is just a profile that I've seen. It's on scoutedfootball.com. And, just in terms of like what sort of a player he is. So he's one of just 10 under-23 midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues to rank in the top 25% for ball winning and ball retention. His performances out of possession become also more impressive when you consider he has the very high average number of pressures compared to most people. I think he's in the top 15% in the top 5 European leagues. So this is the sort of player you're talking about. You're talking about a ball winner, a presser, somebody that can pass, somebody that can move it forward, somebody that's comfortable defensively as well. So he sounds pretty decent to me. Let me just get into the live chat here because we've got a super chat here from Gungshi. Soo! Get in there, my son! Come on, Gungshi, how you doing tonight, mate? Get in there. Thank you very much for the 170 NT super sticker here, mate, or super chat. He says, get in there, my piggy. Get in there, the Hamada. Oink, oink. Hey, thank you so much, Gungshi. I appreciate that. Great to see you. How you doing today? Thank you so much for getting in here. Everyone, get a Soo emoji in there for Gungshi. Thank you so much, Gungers. Right, so, he's playing for France in under 23s, under 21s, etc. This guy is got a bright future ahead of him. That's all we really know. I haven't watched many games of this guy, if any, really. I'm just going on clips. He plays for Marseille, for fuck's sake. So, so unless you're like bang into League One football, it's like, what are you, you probably haven't seen too much of this guy. But from what he sounds like, the sort of player that he is, that could be pretty impressive. I mean, just to give you a bit of background here. So United obviously have been bottling it for a proper number 6 or somebody that can do a defensive midfield role for us for a while now. Fred is not really, Fred in a Rangnick system on paper could work, but you need somebody with him alongside him. McTominay is obviously a gash partner for him. We've seen that to be proven not very, not very consistent or impressive most of the time. In terms of goal-creating actions, he's better than both of them this season. In terms of press success rate, he's better. Progressive dribbles and aerial duels won, better than both of them. So I know it's a different league. He's not playing for a Premier League side here. It's hard to compare. But just in terms of statistics, he does sound pretty decent. So there you go. We'll have to wait and see what happens there in regards to Kamara. But it seems we're in the driving seat for his signature. There's some reports, like 442 are reporting that actually the negotiations are very advanced with Marseille and it's pretty much confirmed that he's going to be Rangnick's first signing in January, in the region of around about 10 to 12 million pounds. So that's the figure we're talking about here. But that is obviously, that's subject to confirmation and more details coming out. But it does seem that could be Rangnick's first signing, potentially. Boubacar Kamara seems like a good young player. I'll ask you guys in the live chat, rate this signing, if we were to sign this kid, out of 10. Maybe you guys know a little bit about him than I do, but he seems like a good player, seems like a great prospect. I'm sure he'll get into that France international team in the coming years, and I think he'll have a good career. From a youngster point of view, from a profile point of view, from the background that he's got coming through Marseille there, it's a solid 7 out of 10, this one. I think he's a decent prospect. He's going to have to come in and dislodge the likes of Scotty McTominay from the side. Is he good enough to do that right now? Maybe in the future. Maybe take a bit of time to adapt to the Premier League. All these question marks. But on paper, it sounds like he'd be pretty decent. Ezio says 5. Old Dirty Benjo says 6. Eddie's Football Waffle says not applicable, so you don't know too much about this guy. Yeah, I guess that is a fair point to take as well, because really, we have to wait and see until we know a little bit more about how he could perform in the Premier League if he were to sign this guy. He's just a cheap signing, really. 10 or 12 million quid in this climate. It's just like chump change, so it's just really a punt. Gungshi says, Pig, I've heard his pace isn't good though, says Gungshi. Well, in terms of, I haven't heard that myself, Gungshi. To be perfectly honest with you, defense, he is a defensive midfielder. Look, he has played a part of a defense as well. But in terms of, having defensive guile and abilities and passing abilities and things, he seems to be good. He's essentially going to be coming and playing that number 6 role. So do you need to be the most, if you've got Fred alongside you as well, do you have to be the most mobile of players anyway? You know, your job essentially would be to, I guess, create and pull the strings a little bit more so than the likes of Fred can from from that position. But no, fair enough. I mean, listen, I don't know enough about the guy. Like I said, I've only seen some clips. We've looked into the background of this player. It seems like he's got a lot of the characteristics United and Rangnick are looking for. But I mean, I haven't heard that myself. Haven't looked into it, but there you go. So we're supposedly taking advantage over the likes of AC Milan, who are interested in signing this guy. We're interested in signing him. AC Milan joined the hunt for the midfielder. This is from Manchester Evening News today. We're looking for, obviously, midfielders. There's another link with Amadou Haidara at RB Leipzig. That guy could definitely be on the agenda as well. We just don't know. We could sign both of them even. You know, this guy that we're talking about now, Boubacar Kamara, he could be slightly one more for the future, maybe. And obviously, Haidara, if we're getting him in, maybe he's slightly more for now. But they're basically pretty much the same age. So, I think Haidara is a little bit more advanced in the fact that he's been playing in, for RB Leipzig's team for a few seasons. Yes, there you go. Exactly. He's very aggressive. He presses a lot, playmaker. But this is what I've been reading about the guy, that his pressing stats, his winning the ball stats in terms of interceptions and tackles and things like that are very, very high percentage-wise. And for all of them, he's pretty much in the top 75 percentile in the entire European top 5 leagues. So listen, there you go. I mean, for Rangnick's general desires, from what we understand of the players that he wants, he does like pacey players. He does like players who have a bit of pace about him. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. This is what's been reported from various different places, that we're in the driving seat to sign this guy. And Rangnick is an admirer of the Frenchman. It's said that the Reds have the power to overtake last season's Serie A runners-up due to our financial power. Milan are eyeing a midfielder with Frank Kessie's contract still yet to be agreed. Meaning the Ivorian will be available on a free transfer in the summer. So that's also a possibility we're talking about for the future. It depends what happens with Kessie, because we've talked about maybe Kessie being a target for United before, but Rangnick understood to like the younger player basically. So also Manchester Evening News reporting that Marcus Rashford is wanted by PSG, as Pochettino's side have reportedly joined the race to sign him. I don't see us letting. I saw a lot of different outlets reporting that Rashford was linked to Barca, Rashford linked to PSG the other day. We would be mad to let Marcus Rashford go just yet. He's still got a little bit of development to do yet. Yeah, he's not been that consistent. He did have an injury. He's had moments of great consistency at United, and but just not for a while. He needs an arm round him, I think. And that's instead he's been given another full season at the club, really, to see what he can do. I say, we could be missing out on one of the best players in a few years' time in the league. He's a great sort of character and personality as well. That got to count for something. And I think we'd be foolish to let him go. So I'll just ask the live chat, guys. Marcus Rashford, keep or sell? I mean, you could generate a lot of money for him, but it seems like a waste of such a possible really good talent. He's still only young. Okay, maybe he hasn't quite lived up to the hype. You look at players like Rooney or Ronaldo or those guys, when they burst on the scene, they look amazing as youngsters, as teenagers. Well, look what they had achieved by this point of Rashford's career. Rashford is miles off compared to the developments of those sorts of players. So will he ever really reach the top level? Sell, says Nathan Phelps. Keep, says Batman. Keep, says Shazad and Playmaker. Rashford shit, says Patio Doors. I mean, it's a bit harsh, mate. He did have an injury. This season, I would say he has been shite. But most of the players have been shite this season in various different forms. Rashford definitely fits into that. He's been massively disappointing. Kelly says, keep. Hey, Kelly, how you doing there? Gungshi, first class gamer, what's going on, lad? Hey, it's great to have all your legends in here. Georgie Ivanov says, keep, but bench him. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about that. I still think we need to have faith in him, give him the opportunities, try and develop him as the player, and hope that he reaches that potential that we all know that he's got. Whether or not he will is another question, but he seems to have a lot of the abilities to do it, just can't seem to find a rhythm this season. Maybe with the new manager coming in, a new sense of belief, a newfound confidence going forward, a new system, all the rest of it, Rashford might find his feet this season. So I'm still holding out hope that he does anyway. So that's the latest really on Boubacar Kamara. Manchester not interested in him. Nothing advanced at the moment. This is as per Fabrizio Romano as well. He also said that we are focusing on a defensive midfielder in the January window and are considering different options right now. So as we've discussed, people like Amadou Haidara as well. And And, he is very much wanted by Ralph Rangnick, Amadou Haidara. So we know that, whether that's this January, whether it's in the summer, whether we opt for somebody else for now, whether we don't sign anybody, still Amadou Haidara would be high on his list. In the rest of the transfer news, we got a little bit more on Edinson Cavani. So this is from Fab, obviously, earlier today. United still not received any approach from Barcelona for Eddie Cavani. He's considered an important member of the squad. Barca priority signing is still Ferran Torres. Same for Corinthians, rumours no bid approach to sign Cavani in January. So this is good news for Manchester United, because we need to keep Big Eddie if we want to have depth and quality throughout the end of the season. Definitely, I'd rather see him go on a free and him score a few goals for us between now and the end of the season than us let him go and miss out on those. So I think it's a good news. Plus, there's movement on Tony Martial here. So I wanted to talk about this because if Tony Martial goes, then it does mean that there's the likeliness of Edinson Cavani staying at Manchester United is higher, because we'll have just less forward players at the club, and we'll have quite a bit of money off the books there if Martial does go somewhere, and we'll have less competition for places, and we'll need Eddie Cavani even more. And Martial is the player that has come out in the media through his agent recently and said that he wants to leave in January. So that's way much more likely, really, than us letting Eddie Cavani go for peanuts when he's only got a few months left on a contract anyway. Might as well keep him and let him go. Eddie Cavani, my friends, get in there. Hopefully he won't be going anywhere. Depends on his situation. He's understood to be interested in going to Barcelona if there's a decent offer that comes in. But for United to sell him, it'd have to be, I don't know, 10 or 12 million pounds. They're not going to stump that up for a player who's old and doesn't have very much money, left on his contract. They could just sign him for free in a few months' time. But United wouldn't sell him for any less than that, really. What's the point? You're just going to lose out, make yourself weaker. And okay, you might get 5 or 6 million quid for the guy. He's only got 6 months left. Get his money off the books. But still, it shows a lack of ambition. So I don't think that United are going to do that. I don't think Rangnick wants to do that. In terms of forward players, Eddie Cavani's the perfect sort of pressing forward, hard-working, high work rate forward to perform in a Rangnick system. So don't see it happening. Hayder says, let Cavani go, doesn't want to be here, and he will miss over half our games. No point keeping him, in my opinion. Okay, but you might actually be slightly wrong there. It does depend on what happens up the top of the pitch. What if Ronaldo gets a little tweak, a little injury, he's out for a few games? Cavani is essentially, when he's fit, he's the number 2 forward, isn't he, behind Ronaldo? And what if we're going to be playing a 4-2-2-2? And we need 2 forwards. Surely we need an extra backup then in case something, you need a bit of rotation. There's also an injury, whatever. I think that if Martial was to go and Cavani was to stay and we played a 4-2-2-2, Cavani would probably get quite a bit of game time between now and the end of the season. I don't think he would just play a handful of games. I think he'd play quite a few games if we were to adapt that system under Rangnick because of the type of player he is. But it does depend on his fitness and his injury, being able to stay injury-free as well, because he is a bit of an injury-prone melt, let's be fair. But I don't know, I'd rather keep him because he's going to bang in a few goals for you. He's going to try. He's not somebody that's just going to go on a pitch and dawdle around. He will give it his all and try to do his best to win in the game when he's on the pitch. Well, I think we've seen that from his mentality and his approach to playing for us when we have seen him, which has been very, very little this season. Nice one, Rush. He says we've got 48 likes. Keep smashing the like on the vid if you're just getting in, peeps. Nice one. You're not talking about the media. I mean the fans. United fans love Martial, even though he's a partnership, but hate on Rashford when he's twice the player. What do you mean? Who hates on Rashford? I don't get it. I've never really heard that, Ryan. I think it's the opposite way round. I think people prefer Rashford just because of what his sort of profile is about, like, all the feeding hungry kids thing. That's pretty fucking awesome. And people sort of don't like Martial because of his inconsistencies, I'd say, if anything, it's the other way round. I think people have got a bit more time for Rashford and a bit less time for Tony just because of the performances on the pitch. But also, so off it does make a difference too. United Talk says, Pig, is the Haaland rumours true? We'll get onto that in a moment, actually, United Talk, but basically, no. Gunshi, thank you so much for another super chat here, dude. He comments, Don Piglioni, between you, me, the new medicine is working as advertised. If the results of last night's dream is anything to go by, oh, holy shit. A bit of a mangasmic one, was it, Gunshi? Crikey, mate. Oh, shit. Hey, Gungshi, let's get a love heart in the live chat, everybody, for Gungshi. Thank you so much for the super chat there. I appreciate that. And maybe a little bit too much information. Get in there, Gungshi. Chrissy J, what's good? Says, can see Cavani benefiting from Dallo and Tellez. in a Rangnick system. Much the case, yeah, getting those balls in thick and fast. Eddie Cavani's obviously great in the air also too. Him and Ronaldo both could be. Just think about that, Ronaldo and Cavani both working in tandem, like attacking balls coming in from various different directions here. It's a dream. It's a dream. Why would you give that opportunity up when you need it? Whenever the little amount of time we've seen Ronaldo and Cavani on the pitch together, they've looked really good. I think they've done well together whenever we've seen them, the tiny few minutes that we have. Yeah, exactly, Philip Chapman. Cavani's a success when he's fit. Absolutely. When he's fit, he's got to play, really. Patio Doors, Cavani's amazing, but 10 years too late. Yeah, he's kind of like an old motor. You can't. It's not a daily driver anymore, unfortunately. You've got to take care of it. It's going to be creaky. It's going to break down every now and again. It's going to, drop its oil sump out on the floor or whatever when you're driving down the road. Occasionally, it's going to have a mare. But sometimes, when the sun is shining and you're cruising along in that 1960s vintage motor and the radio's blaring, it's an absolute dream. And that is basically what Edinson Cavani is right now. He's a vintage motor. But if you take care of him, and if you use him just when it's sunny and not when it's raining, then maybe you might better get good longevity out of him this season with goals. Anyway. Yes, indeed, Gongshilioni. Sounds good, though. Sounds good. Let me know what it is. Everybody loves Rashford. If he was French, he'd be getting away way more criticism, in my opinion, says Gongshi. Yeah, that's quite possibly true. I mean, there is obviously a homegrown sort of bias that we have in this country. That's got to be fair. That's fair to say. But also, what about off the field, though? That does count. It's not like just because he's English, he's getting, less criticism. I think it's also, some of his off-the-field achievements and things that he's done in terms of being good for society also make people like him more than just as a footballer too. That's a fair point also. But you know what? Rashford's a fucking nice guy, but that's not the be-all and end-all. You've got to do the performance on the pitch. I still think he's going to be good enough, guys. Let's just talk about Rashford for a second more. So, is he going to be that guy? Will Rashford ever be that guy? You know what I'm saying? Where he gets to be, one of the ballers in the league. Can you see Rashford ever being like like a Mane or a Salah or if you're talking about United's ex-players, anywhere near a Rooney or a whoever, just one of those great players. Would he ever? Yes or no, guys? Yes or no, says Batman Night Fan. Let me know. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I mean, based on what we've seen so far, he's got a lot of potential. He's still so young. He's done some amazing things with the football in the time that I've seen him playing. I'm happy with his progression, but it's not as good as the progression of some of the other youngsters that we've discussed. Like we said, Wayne Rooney, Ronaldo, these sorts of guys who went on to do amazing things. He's sort of like always going to be destined to be that tier 2 player. He's not, I don't think he's ever going to be that top elite player, but I think in terms of like being a big baller in the Premier League in a few years' time and, just being a consistent player, I think he could do it. I think he could. Yes, says Eddie's Football Waffle and Solskjaer 1999. Get in there. You're going to say no, says Connor Matthews. No, says Ezio and Alex Walker. Well, fair enough. Tough one. What makes you say that, guys? What makes you say that? Is it just because he's too inconsistent? Maybe he just hasn't found his rhythm yet. Rashford doesn't know how to pass, says Alex Walker. Chrissy makes a point. It's to do with the coaching as well. He says Rashford just hasn't been coached right over the last few years. Under a good coach, he would become proper class. I can see it. He's got a lot of the attributes that we need. Come on. He's the free kick against Chelsea. The some of the amazing runs, some of the lovely finishes. He's obviously got the ability to do it. We'll see, won't we? This season is going to be the making or breaking of Marcus Rashford in a lot of ways. It will make or break Marcus Rashford. Come on. Is he going to be Marcus Rashford or is he going to be Marcus Gashford? We'll have to wait and see come the end of the season. We've got over 100 of you legends in here right now. Get yourself involved. We're having a debate in the live chat. Have your say. Get involved throughout. Smash the like on the video as well. Let's see if we can get 100 likes on this stream. And subscribe. If you're new, hit that subscribe button also. Get involved. So let me just get on to the next thing then. So Rashford is a good talking point, but I wanted to talk a little bit about Tony Martial. So Tony Martial, he's definitely behind Rashford in this side. Rashford's ahead of him and he's younger. We've got a couple of assets that we could get rid of here. Both of those are talked about. But out of the two, of course, you'd rather see Martial go because he's got, I guess, slightly less potential in the sense that he's a bit older. He's less consistent and he's French. No, I'm just joking. But he doesn't have the same attributes as, mentally, I don't think, as like Rashford. I think Rashford possesses maybe a little bit more determination. Martial, maybe he's more of a flair player type guy, confidence player as well. Not to say that he's not a top player, because on his day he is as good as anybody, but his day doesn't come that often. So Tony Martial, it looks like he could be well going out in January. Now Sevilla have entered the frame. So just to give you the update, the latest lowdown on Tony Martial. Barcelona obviously interested in taking him with their financial situation, the fact that they need a forward on a loan basis also. But Sevilla is supposedly a club that would be high on Anthony Martial's agenda. So supposedly they are one of the best placed clubs to sign him right now in the January transfer window. Marca stated that Sevilla have made Martial a priority for January and have even made moves to convince him to come. And journalist for RMC Sport, Loic Tanzi, said that negotiations are progressing for Martial to join the La Liga side. So, it seems like he's certainly going to go away in January on a transfer basis. On a loan transfer basis, I should say, maybe with an option to buy. There's still talks of Barca, but Sevilla is definitely a club that are interested in him too. There's discussions underway, so you might just see, possibly a loan deal in January for Tony. You know what? Good. I think it's time that he went out somewhere and did something and tried to actually prove himself and just be a bit of disappointment at United. I won't be disappointed to see him go, really. I hope it is a loan with an option to buy, because I think we could do with the cash to buy somebody else who's better fitted for our quality team. Social 99, people telling people how to live their lives, sus. Well, fair one, yeah. I mean, there's talks of the fans not being allowed in stadiums soon. Vutilator, good on a few weeks holiday. Get in there. Christmas dinner's coming thick and fast. Love it, lad. He's going to be Brussels sprouted to death, this guy, come the end of the week. Bell6991, what's going on, mate? And Big God Bob's in here. How you doing there? Everyone, thank you for joining us. Thanks for joining us. We've got Mrs. P Cake Bandit in here as well. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Right, so yes, could be Tony Martial going to Sevilla on loan. Could be going to Barcelona on loan. Just get out, Tony, basically, is the message. See you later on, Tony. No, in all fairness, let's have a vote in the live chat. Do you want to keep Tony Martial, or would you like to see him go? Stay or go? Let me know in the live chat. Stay or go? Would you rather see him stay and be a part of this squad and maybe have a little bit more depth this season? Because there might be an occasion where we've got an injury or whatever we could do with having him, I suppose. Or do you think we're best suited just to let him go out on loan, let them pay his wages with an option to buy in the future? Chrissy J says loan. Ezio says go. Madhouse says go. No Such Done says go. Okay, stay, says Nanette Gig. So a few people would like to see Tony stay still. That's fair. That's fair. I think he could. It's a funny one, isn't it? Because he's almost like one of those guys where he's got so much good stuff going for him. He's really skillful. He can score. He can take a player on. He's got the vision, definitely. So it's just about putting it all together. Imagine if he just left us now that he's hit his prime, 26 years of age, he's coming into his prime here, and then he turns into an absolute beast. I can actually see it happening as well. Like, there's not many players that have been at United that have gone recently, like, I don't know, Mkhitaryan or, whoever. Alexis Sanchez, I was never really thought, once Alexis Sanchez leaves United, now when he goes to Inter, he's going to be fucking boss again. Never really thought that. But on this Martial, I feel like he could actually boss it for somebody. Like, he's still got the potential to burst on the scene. He hasn't done so yet, really. We paid a good bit of money for him. We haven't lost anything out. We'll probably recoup most of that. But he hasn't really lived up to what we need. But I think he's still got the potential to be a really great player in the future. If he knuckled down and got his mentality right, I don't see why he couldn't be a really top-class player for somebody. So, there you go, We'll have to wait and see what goes on with Tony. He's the most likely player to go in January. There's talks of Jesse Lingard staying, Jesse Lingard going, Newcastle have an interest, West Ham have an interest, Jesse supposedly committing his future. What future? But his future to the club. What future? Just so he can get paid to the end of the season and then leave on a free. What future? So, in my opinion, there's still big question marks about Jesse, but Tony Martial looking likely that he will leave. And if he does leave, if he does go out on loan, it means that Edinson Cavani possibility of going is significantly less because United will be looking to keep hold of more of our players. So in terms of who you'd rather keep, obviously, I think most people want to keep Edinson Cavani over Martial, even though Martial's younger. So there you go. We have Sky Sports also reported that Tony Martial's preference is to join Sevilla on loan. If he is to leave Man United next month, amid interest from Barcelona and Juventus, striker set for talks with Rangnick in the next few days. So obviously we'll have more on this when it comes in regards to Tony. It looks like he is adamant that he wants to leave the football club. I don't think Rangnick's going to stand in his way. He has said as much, that he doesn't really want players who don't want to play for the club, and that he won't stand in anybody's way. So it's very much a case that if they can find a club, a suitable offer, if a team does want to take him and is interested, then United will not stand in his way, as long as they're prepared to pay 100% of the wages, maybe a cheeky million up front or whatever for a 6-month loan deal here, and also with an option to buy, or however much money up front it would take, whatever, and in the future an option to buy, then yeah, they could probably take him in January. It's whether or not United can do business to sell him permanently. That's what probably they'd rather do, just get him off the books. But he is on big money. He is valued at probably 30 to 40 million pounds, which might be too much for a lot of these clubs in this pandemic situation. So a loan with an option to buy seems like a lot more likely scenario. So yeah, that is the situation with Tony Martial, my friends. He hopefully will be going out on loan, and we can make way for somebody else to come in and in midfield, i.e. Boubacar Kamara or Mr. Amadou Haidara. These are the sort of guys we need to be looking at for the midfield. But as we just discussed in there, Barcelona and Juventus are also interested in Martial, with all three clubs keen on an initial loan deal. So Sky Sports reporting that Barcelona, Juventus are also interested in Tony. We talked about Juventus, Ronaldo going in the summer, they're struggling again. It's like they need to get some goals from some of they need some forward players. Barcelona, obviously, Aguero had to retire, and Memphis has had injury concerns, and they just they got financial issues, they've got to get rid of players. So I could see either of those happening. I would like to see Tony go. Also, Sevilla is supposedly the most favoured destination for Tony Martial at this moment in time, if you believe reports. A nice one, Disco Dave, lad. Get in there. We're getting there, my son. Come on, let's be having you. He says 74 likes. Smash it, people. Thank you very much, Disco Dave. Yeah, if you're just joining, hit the like. Give us a boost up on the algorithm. Stick it to the man and the clickbaiters and the corporations, and smash that thumbs up if you enjoy these shows, and get your thoughts in throughout as well. We will have a big Q&A at the end once I've stopped rambling. But there you go. So Barca, Juventus and Sevilla all interested in Tony Martial on a loan basis. That's the news. Okay, Ralph Rangnick's pushing for Erling Haaland Manchester United transfer. Reports from Manchester Evening News today says that Ralph Rangnick is pushing for Manchester United to sign Haaland despite intense competition for the Borussia Dortmund striker. Rangnick has recently spoken to Haaland's father, Erling Haaland, about possibility of his son signing for United next year. Rangnick retains a cordial relationship with Erling Haaland from when he was Red Bull sporting director and oversaw Haaland's move to Red Bull Salzburg from Molde in 2018. So he has signed him before, obviously, for RB Leipzig, or RB Salzburg, I should say, when he was sporting director. And he's 21. He came close to joining United 2 years ago, but the Norwegian chose Dortmund, where he had plundered 76 goals in 74 games. Quite a strike rate, really, wherever you are. Haaland's €75 million release clause becomes active in 2022, and he seems almost certain to leave Dortmund. So in terms of where his destination will be, it depends, I guess, on what Manchester United do this season. If we can get up there challenging, if we can be successful, if we can become a really great team again, because we haven't been anywhere near the level we should be for a while now, then I'm sure he would be interested in joining Manchester United. We've talked about the Rangnick links there. We are a big club. We can pay him just as well as anyone. But unless we are, what his agent said recently, as much as I hate that grubby little melter, Mino Raiola, and despise what he said about United not winning things for 7 or 8 years, and the fact that these other clubs have, and that Haaland should be looking at some of these other clubs that are winning things. It's like that actually, as much as he's an absolute knob and he's belittling Manchester United, if you actually consider it, it's like you've got to think about what is the most likely places for a player to want to go and be successful. Like you look at where is successful, don't you, over the last few seasons? Not 10 10 years ago, you look at what is successful now. And so from that point of view, a team like, I don't know, Madrid or City or Chelsea or one of these twats, maybe would be more of a suitable destination for him. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, the problem with getting Erling Haaland is you have to deal with Mino Raiola, and I just don't really think that United should be dealing with that guy anymore, because he just doesn't have a good relationship with this football club, and he's always talking smack about us. And I just don't really like how he deals with his players, how, he's come out previously with Pogba and said things, and I just don't like the guy. I would rather we didn't deal with him. So this is what Rangnick said at his introductory press conference, obviously 3 weeks ago. He said, Erling Haaland is a fantastic striker. I know best myself because I was together with the people at Salzburg with my friend Christoph, and the people there were a little bit involved in the move from Molde to Salzburg, and therefore I know what kind of player he is. I'm more than happy with the offensive strike power we have here and the offensive players we have here, and quite a few of them did not play against Arsenal. Martial only came in on the last 5 minutes. Mason Greenwood didn't play at all. We have so many top players in the offensive department that we don't need to speak about other players. So, and he's right, as of right now, that is the case. But in 6 months' time, obviously, Cavani probably won't be here. Ronaldo will only have a year left on his contract as well. So it does look like, United are going to have to start making strides, maybe definitely not in January, but in the summer, when clubs are looking at signing Erling Haaland, then we would have to, I'm sure, try and sign a forward player. So unless you're looking at giving the mantle to Mason Greenwood going forward after Cavani leaves, and then just playing Rashford or Greenwood and Ronaldo up top there with Sancho sometimes, I suppose. So there you go. That is the latest on Erling Haaland. Supposedly, if you believe reports, Rangnick is pushing for Erling Haaland. He's a big fan. He has overseen a previous transfer of the guy. But it's not that realistic because, as I said, as much as Mino Raiola is a big pie-fingering melt, he's right in what he suggested, that the last few years United haven't been quite as successful as we should have been, and there's other clubs that are more successful at this moment in time that Erling Haaland, from a personal point of view, might want to go and play for instead of United. So we'll have to wait and see. But should United go in for the guy? I'll ask the chat. I mean, it's a €75 million release clause. If that's the case, you've got to go in and try and get the guy, just as everybody else will try. I'm sure there'll be a queue right round the corner for Erling Haaland when his release clause becomes active in 2022. Because look at those goals, 77 goals in 74 appearances for Dortmund. He's only 21. He's already got insane amounts of goals in the Champions League and all the rest of it. Like, he's clearly a fantastic goal scorer, just a natural talent, strong, quick, athletic, but great finishing ability, just born with that ability to stick the ball in the back of the net. And you've got to say that any club in world football right now would be foolish to turn up the opportunity for signing him for 75 mil, because, he's clearly going to be one of the best strikers in the world for the next decade. So yeah, United should try and sign him. I'll ask the live chat, yes or no. Should United try and sign him? There's some negatives. He hasn't come in the past when he had an opportunity. Maybe it's better for his development to go to Dortmund, though. Raiola is his agent. Raiola is a big absolute melt. Do we want to deal with that guy? So there are some negatives. The amount of money that you'd have to pay the guy weekly as well. I mean, he's only young, but because of how many clubs are interested in him and what sort of player he is, there's talks of £500,000-600,000 a week is what Mino Raiola might be asking for clubs for wages for this guy. That's another consideration. Riola's not going to go in there for chump change with any of these clubs. He's going to look for some of the biggest wages in the world for Erling Haaland in this move, this big money move. So that is another consideration. Hey there, Cody Elder, you legend. What's going on? Great to see you. Jay says, yes, of course, says Jay. Everybody's in for him, says Steve Hall. Definitely Haaland in the summer. Yes, says No Sanch done. Nah, because of Raiola. Yeah, it's a fair point in that. I don't like that guy either. Haaland to City, says Conor Matthews. Okay, I'll ask you another question then, because it's a fair question. Where do you actually think he is going to end up? So it's doubtful. I doubt he'll stay at Dortmund another year. But that's a possibility, and then there's all the top clubs around Europe. Real Madrid are understood to have some interest, but are hoping that they can sort of hold off for another year at Dortmund because they're not exactly financially minted right now either. Then you've got, I guess a couple of the clubs in Italy would be interested, but I don't see him making that move. I think the Premier League is more likely for him, but it's like, who in the Premier League? Unfortunately, Manchester City have the money. Unfortunately, Manchester City have the recent success. Unfortunately, they need a striker really as well. They have, that's the area of their team where they could look to sign another top player as well in the striker position. So it does actually make a lot of sense for him to go to City, in all fairness. It's just going to be honest, like from an outside point of view. Plus his dad played for City. Yeah, look at this. Bayern Munich, says Charlie Anthony. That's a great shout as well. Haaland to City, says Ezio Editor. City, says Steve Hall. Hey, sub to Flying Pig United, getting in with a highlighted member comment, mate. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, boss, and getting your member comment in. Thank you for being a member of this channel for 5 months. Let's get a hashtag 5 months a member in there for sub to Flying Pig United. Thank you very much. He says, we will sell you Grealish for 90 million. Merry Christmas, Don. Why do you want to get rid of Grealish already? What's that all about? We don't want Grealish for 90 million. That was always too much money. You got bent over for 100 mil there. Now, to be fair, he's a good player, but crikey, I mean, 100 million for Grealish. What has the world come to? Even so, though, great player for Villa last year. He's sort of big fish in little fish or a smaller fish in a bigger pond now, though. Let's be honest. It's not exactly... he is doing well there. He is chipping in the occasional assist and stuff, but he's not shining. It's easier to shine in that shitty Aston Villa team, but it's not easy to shine in a Manchester City team full of stars. Is it, Jack Grealish, lad? No. But anyway, so we're getting on striker options here. So Erling Haaland, Manchester United transfer, it's a possibility. In terms of actual chances of signing him, it's a lot less than some of the other clubs like we discussed, even Bayern Munich, Man City, probably more likely to lure him away because they're more successful in modern years. And if you were advising this guy from a neutral point of view where you're not a Manchester United fan and you're looking at, wow, where are you going to go, where you're going to win the most trophies, where you're going to compete right now for Ballon d'Ors and things like that, where you're going to be in the latter stages of all these tournaments, lifting these trophies, you'd have to look at Manchester City and say that Pep's proven to have done it over the last 5 years. He's won 3 out of the last 4 Prems with City. They did get to the Champions League final last year. They are obviously a more seasoned team than United right now. The difference, the it factor, is that United now have Ralf Rangnick in, who has overseen a transfer of Haaland before, who could get Manchester United back to playing a really great style. And hopefully, it's a big hopefully, but hopefully Rangnick will stay beyond the summer if he's been successful. And hopefully he'll turn into, the Klopp or the Pep for us. We've been looking for that manager. City got their Pep. Liverpool got their Klopp. We need our Rangnick. That's it. He needs to be that sort of ilk manager for us where we for the next few seasons, we progress. So that's what it's going to have to be. And if we can be that, then it's just as good a destination for him as anywhere. But still, you have to say we can't guarantee him trophies right now. That's the only thing. Yeah. Get in there, Vutinator. Says, Connor, enjoy it while you're winning. We'll be back amongst it next season. Come on, Ralphie's on it. Get in there, the Vutinator. Absolutely, lad. Right, okay then. So there you go. So that's, if you're just joining us, the biggest updates then. United back to training. 20 players turn up for training today. Barcelona interested in signing Tony Marcio as well as Sevilla and Juventus on loan, I should say there. We've also got Amadou Haidara links with Manchester United, still much appreciated by Ralf Rangnick and United, but no solid links or anything yet there in regards to those. So we just got to wait and see what goes on with a couple of players going out. People like Jesse Lingard, Dean Henderson, Tony Martial. It's suspected a couple of people will be leaving this January. There's negotiations as well. I forgot to mention this for a young lad. January transfer for Julian Alvarez. Don't know much about this guy at all, but there are links with Manchester United that we're signing, or could be signing, Julian Alvarez, who's an Argentine footballer born in the year 2000, and he plays for River Plate. Don't know much about him. He's a forward/winger, so maybe a potential cheaper replacement for somebody like Cavani or Martial, should these guys go. That's the latest link as well. So some news on Julian Alvarez, River Plate winger/forward. Manchester United have a link with him at this moment. Okay, also more news has come out to say that it's looking maybe likely that Premier League clubs are fearing that the behind the closed doors fixtures are going to start from near the end of the year, which would be awful. We don't know that for sure yet. Hopefully that's not the case. Right, a few other little bits before I get into the live chat for the Q&A. Once again, twat that like button. Give it that Kung Fu Cantonade kick if you haven't done so. Help us out on the channel. and get yourself subscribed. Help us get to 50k subs by the end of the year. Tell your granny about it. Get it out there. Get your megaphone out, and let's be having you at Christmas. Amad Diallo is looking for a loan move in January. This is as per Fabrizio Romano. He has many options from different countries. This will be decided between his agent and Manchester United. So yet another player from United that could be going out in January on a loan basis. Amad Diallo, stay or go? I personally say stay. We paid 40 million for this guy. We haven't seen enough of him. He hasn't had chances. Tony Marcio is going to be going out the door, so surely that leaves slightly more opportunities for the kid. Just don't play Mata. What's the point? Don't play Lingard. What's the point? Sell him in Jan as well. What's the point? Give more opportunities to somebody like Amad Diallo. It makes perfect sense. I say keep Amad Diallo. What do you guys think? But he does seem like, because of the lack of opportunities, he wants a loan move and he wants to play some football. Diallo in a 4-2-2-2? Yeah, Johnny, why not? Sometimes, not all the time. But, you've got players like, we talked about it, Martial, Lingard, these senior players that don't perform that well. What's the harm and the difference to allow this guy to come in a rotation basis or, off the bench? I think we could definitely do with giving Diallo some more opportunities. He's a young kid. Let's develop him a bit. See what he can do. Okay. So also, just sort of other news really about, Serie A here, but Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, Fabrizio Romano said there's absolutely nothing between Man United and Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, so nothing going on there. Also, Romano with an update at 1:30 p.m. today just said Diego Godin announces that he's going to leave Cagliari in January. It's over after many problems here, is a quote from Godin. I'm looking for a new solution. In 10 days, I'll be able to talk about my new club. Godin has been excluded from the Cagliari squad this week. So this is actually a guy that's been linked to Manchester United in the past. But he's old as fuck now, obviously. But he has obviously been a great player at times as a defender in the past. But he's had his day, hasn't he? I mean, I don't know. You're seeing defenders play for a little bit longer. Look at Thiago Silva having a great season last season for Chelsea. Could Diego Godin solve the problems? You know what I'm saying? We've got some gash at the back. We have got good players, but none of them are great, apart from maybe arguably Rafael Varane, and he's always bloody injured. Slabby Maguire's not the man. He's a farce of an individual as United's captain. Phil Jones, Eric Pye's good, but he's also got injury concerns. Lindelof, all I'm saying is it's a no from me. I'm going to be honest. It's a no from me because he's 35. We've got too many centre-backs already. The only way I would consider taking Diego Godin is if we could swap Phil Jones and Harry Maguire for him. And obviously we're not going to do that. He's 35. You're not going to swap those players. But I mean, sell those players and get this guy in. We've got too many centre-backs already. We don't want to add any more in there. We don't want to add any more in there. He was great for Atletico Gangshi. Absolutely had a great time in Atletico. Fantastic defender. Haven't really followed his career since. Obviously went to Inter Milan after, didn't he? But then he's gone to Cagliari. Don't know what he's been up to. To be fair, or how good he is these days. But a few seasons ago, absolutely he was fantastic. So he think about that partnership with Varane. A little bit of experience. Hey, it's a thought, isn't it? Hey, we got 95 likes. Get in there, Rushmano. We're nearly at 100. Keep smashing the like. FIFA tonight says MUFC. Yeah. Says Godin is too old. I never wanted him, says Dan. 35 now is a bit too old, but like I say, look at Thiago Silva at Chelsea last season. They signed him when he was 35. Did a great job for them for a year or so. Amit Kumar, he can be a very good leader at the back, says Amit Kumar. Spot on, my son. All I'm saying is, even though he is too old, it's not the worst signing ever. At least he is a quality player, or has been a quality player. We've got some centre-backs in our club that never have been a quality player, never will be a quality player. At least this guy has been a quality player. I'm not saying he's the answer. We'd have to get rid of players if we were going to consider adding another centre-back. But yeah, you're right about that. Jonathan Gallagher, maybe slightly off the pace, won't be able to cope with the pace of the Premier League these days. Maybe you're right. Fair point. Hey, Luan Francis had to leave the chat earlier, just got home. What did I miss? Not too much, really. Just did a roundup, really, about the transfers. Martial, Lingard, loan potentials going out. Potentials coming in of Haidara and Boubacar Kamara coming in January, possibly one or maybe even both. We'll have to wait and see what goes on. But you haven't missed too much. Erling Haaland, and should Manchester United go for him? This type of stuff is what are the biggest stories today. But yeah, this guy's 35. I don't think it's going to happen, but he did announce that he wants to leave Cagliari anyway. FIFA is boring. Play someone else tonight, says Poisonous Nut. Okay, well, you've had your say there. Thank you, Roddy Can't Game, says smashing a like before my stream. Get in there, Roddy Can't Game. Thank you so much for hitting the thumbs up button, dude. I appreciate you, man. And everybody, hit that like, hit the subscribe, get involved. I'm going to get into a Q&A now. We've pretty much covered all the latest news. So Godin announces he's going to leave. Anthony Martial's preference is supposedly Sevilla. Barcelona are interested in Juventus too, but supposedly his interest is to join Sevilla on loan in January, which would increase the likelihood that Edinson Cavani stays at Manchester United for the end of the season. But you know, United still have not received an offer from Barcelona for Edinson Cavani, though they're known to be interested in him. He is considered an important part of the squad. This is as per Fabrizio Romano today. Barca's priority signing is understood to be Ferran Torres. And the same for the Corinthians rumours that they were interested in, obviously Brazilian side Corinthians. Also no bid or approach to Manchester United for Cavani in January. That's the latest on that. United are in the driving seat to sign Boubacar Kamara from Marseille, a young, destructive, defensive, pressing midfielder. And also United back at training today. That's pretty much the latest news, guys. So, yes, thanks for joining us. I'm going to get into the Q&A now, so have your say in the chat. This is the part of the show where we let every fan have their say, as long as you're not a complete tool bag. So get yourself involved, get your thoughts and opinions in, and let's hear you. Who do you think we should be bringing in Jan and all the rest of it? Yes, Klaus's main priority, in my opinion, should be Haidara or Kamara over anything else. If Haaland is interested in us too, then go for him as well. Yeah, good shout. I mean, he might have an interest in joining us. There has been a little bit of history there. But chances are he would probably rather go to City at this moment in time. Rushmana says, sell Jones for a pack of mixed nuts and get go down. Precisely, that's what I'd do as well, you know. Or I'd even try and throw in Slabbington Maguire in that one too. Might get a tube of Pringles for that twat. Thiago doesn't have pace, but he commands the team like a leader, and that's why Chelsea defence has been good since he's there, says Amit Kumar. Precisely, mate. Oh, I've got a wheezing chest. But precisely, yes, you know, experience is invaluable, mate. Thank you, Girish Ramlakan, says Pigmate, love this channel from Mauritius. Get in there. Shouts out to Mauritius, bro. He says, what do you think of Vlahovic from Fiorentina? Goal machine, strong, powerful, and no Riola. Yes, mate, absolutely. There's a link to him too. Absolutely. I think he could be a very good player for us. We have to think about the couple of players that would be in his way for now. I could see it happening, you know, in the future, but right now, or even in the summer, I'm not too sure, because Mason Greenwood is probably going to be playing as a striker in the future. Cristiano Ronaldo is still going to be here for next season. So, you know, are there the opportunities there for somebody like Vlahovic? Cavani, I guess so. Cavani's going in the summer, most likely. And so maybe Vlahovic could come in then. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I like the idea of it. If we can't get somebody like Haaland, we've got to go for somebody who's not a Riola parasite merchant. You know what I mean? Hey, Cake Cadet, what's going on? Hello, he says, okay, I've waited long enough. Where the hell is the Cake Cadet shout out, Piggy? Hey, Cake Cadet, when are you streaming next, boss? Let me know when you're streaming next. We'll do you a proper raid or whatnot. But yes, it's better when people are streaming to send them to your stream when you're actually there, and then they'll stick around and subscribe. That's my own opinion. So yes, Disco Dave says, if this Omicron shite gets worse, I can see some shock results over the next few weeks. Could be a great opportunity for United to move up the places and with 2 games in hand. Yes, Disco Dave, lots of chances here now against lesser teams. We should be smashing up all the teams we got now until March, in all fairness. If we don't, Rangnick's had a fucking mare. No, I'm only joking. He can lose 1 or 2 of them, but that's it. He's got to win the majority of these games we've got coming up now. It is a learning process. He is developing the side. He's trying to change us, and it's not going to come overnight. We've got to be patient to a degree, but also it's a results industry, and he's got to get us up there winning most of those games so that we can capitalise and make up ground on the rest of the teams. You're absolutely right. Martial's my greatest disappointment, says AR Dan. Yeah, I had huge hopes for him, but he's failed. He needs to go, says AR Dan. Yes, I agree with you, mate. Sadly, it hasn't quite worked out for him, has it? I agree with you. Sadly, it's just not quite hit the levels that we ever thought it would. It looked like it would for a period of time, but unfortunately, yeah, he's shat it. He's shat the bed now. Time to change the sheets and go. Viva Ronaldo, says JMFC. Viva Ronaldo. Viva Ronaldo. Get in there. Kingslayer says, I'm from France and a Marseille fan. Kamara isn't that good, and his entourage seems to be a pain in the butt. His entourage? What are you talking about, Kingslayer? Or what you mean, like his agent and people like that? Or you mean, what do you mean? What do you mean? He's a bit of a gangster, is he? Kingslayer, fair play. Well, look, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, he's only young. All I know is we've got players like Scotty McTominay in our team who are also not that good. So we do need to look at getting somebody else in. Maybe Haidara's a good option. This Kamara guy could be good. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I've watched this guy play for Marseille, ever. So, I just heard that he's a good option and heard that he's a good player and he's got a decent prospect and he is a very hot property in French football as a youngster right now. Amit Kumar says we've got 100 likes on the stream. Come on, get in there. Thanks, everyone. Griffo Chaz says, check out the article pinned to the top of this live chat and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Absolutely, guys. More news on the Haaland situation. A very fantastic article by Mr. Griffo Chaz, which is basically essentially about why Man United should not sign Erling Haaland in the summer. And personally, overall, I'd have to say that I agree. You know what I mean? Personally, I have to say that I agree. The main points really, well, I'll read the article, but, things like developing of Mason Greenwood being halted if we do go and get Haaland. Things like having to deal with that grubby agent, Mino Raiola, paying through the fucking eyes to bring this guy into the football club in terms of transfer wages, etc. Well, not the transfer 75 mil release clause, but the wages. Sign Kevin Tomkinson in January, says Charlie Anthony. Haaland is getting very unattractive because of his agent. So true, Luan France. I mean, that agent's very clever. I mean, listen to this. Listen to this. I mean, obviously there's Zlatan Ibrahimovic, there's Paul Pogba, but look at this. Mino Raiola's players list, right? So this is, he represents a heck of a lot of players, right? So this is his clients as of right now, not his previous clients. I'm not talking about his previous clients. I'm talking about his current clients right now. Haaland, Matthias de Ligt, Gianluigi Donnarumma, Paul Pogba, Marco Verratti, Stefan de Vrij, Irving Lozano, Moise Kean, Ryan Gravenberch, Daniel Malin, Marcus Thuram, Romagnoli, Dumfries, Stengs, Manolas, Areola, Justin Kluivert. Like the list, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Bonaventura, Charles Paulo. I'm skipping loads of people out, by the way. I'm just telling you the notable ones. Mario Balotelli, Blaise Matuidi, Federico Manqueda. No, seriously, it just goes on and on and on and on, this list of current clients that he is representing. And some of these players are worth an absolute fortune. And you know what? If you look at a lot of these players, a lot of them do move quite a bit. So, just out of example, I mean, well, De Ligt obviously moved to Juventus. Haaland moved recently to Dortmund. Gianluigi Donnarumma moved recently on a free to PSG. Paul Pogba still at Manchester United, probably will go to PSG on a free. It's like he likes to move them around a bit. I think that's fair to say. So he's got a lot of players. He's got a lot of players that he represents. He's obviously very clever. All the money goes out the game, and it stinks. And I don't think we should deal with the guy personally. That's how I feel, because he is only interested in trying to bend over the clubs for as much money as possible. The thing is, though, they've got an asset. He's got the representation of these players, and these players are huge assets. And Manchester United, if we want to get that player, we have to go in for that player, and we have to deal with Raiola. And so United still should try and sign him, in my opinion, even though I'm sort of contradicting myself. We should still try and sign him. You've got to go in for him. There's a release clause of 75 mil. You've got to put a contract offer on the table. You just have to. You just have to, even though he's a twat. You just have to for that guy. Hey, Rushmano, get in there, my son. Come on, where are you? He sent a 10-pounder in there. Thank you so much, Rushy. He says, excited to see what Rangnick has been working on when we see United play again. Varane is back, baby. Come on. Hey, thank you so much, Rushmano, for getting in there with that, man. Let's get a super chat emoji in there for Rushmano. Thank you so much. He says, Varane's back. Yeah, that's going to be great to see Varane back in the side against Newcastle, hopefully. And yeah, Rangnick been working on some things. It's going to be a really good period over the next 10 games, because they're games that we can, work on some things and develop, but we should be the favourites to win. So I think he could, do very well in that time to get a new style in place for the really tough end of the season when we play all the top teams again. Hey, Haroli, mate, thank you so much for getting here. Thank you, Rushmano, for that, man. That's very kind of you. What a legend. And thanks for all the updates today. Absolute star. Well, once again, check out transfers_UTD on Twitter for daily updates with transfers. Rushmano's Twitter page is fantastic. Haroli says, Pig, mate, 49.4k, nearly 50k. Really hope you get that by the new year, you legend. Thank you, Haroli. We'll see, mate. It slowed right down, obviously, because the lack of United stuff the last week with no games. But yes, definitely, hopefully we can get there. If not, I'm sure it'll be sometime in January. We're close, though, baby. We're close. Thank you, Haroli. Thanks, Rushmano, for that, mate. Right, get back in the live chat here. Have your say, guys. Jarvis Cocker says, unpopular opinion, John McGinn would be perfect. Not an exotic and sexy signing, but the man is built like a rock and he's got qualities we need to get the best. Shout and a half, that is, Jarvis. Yeah, there is some links to John McGinn as well. Shout and a half, that one, Jarvis. Fair one. I rate him. I think he's good, like you say. No nonsense. Why we just want a good no-frills player. If you actually look at Liverpool's midfield, there's not a real technical maestro among them. They're all just sort of workhorses. So I totally agree with you. How is Lindelof, says Philip Chapman. In terms of a Lindelof update, I don't personally think there has been one. Let me take a look. So the last I heard is that obviously he was undergoing fitness tests and things like that. So United issued an update on Tuesday the 14th. But I personally don't think we've heard anything since about Victor's situation. I'm going to be honest, I haven't heard anything. Let me know if you guys have. So Dimitar Berbatov have told Edinson Cavani has told Edinson Cavani to take Barcelona's money and run. Interesting. Berbatov said that he should go to Barcelona, basically. Oh, fair enough. That's quite an interesting little topic there. Dimitar Berbatov saying, take Barca's money and run. Interesting. Right. Okay, then, back in the live chat here. Jarvis agreed with McGinn. Sir Alex Ferguson's linked with him a few years ago. Fair play. Makes sense, doesn't it? He could provide us with that no-frills guile in the midfield that we've been lacking. These players need to think about what they're dealing with hiring that twat Riola, says the Cape Cadet. The man clearly only cares about lining his own pockets. It's time scumbag agents are regulated properly. Frank HS, are you playing FIFA tonight? I think so, mate. I don't know. We'll see. Roshmano says lots of links to McGinn. Asher Katana says, is Boubacar Kamara the CDM United need? They could look at other options. I'm not 100% sure about Boubacar Kamara as United new CDM. No, I'm not 100% sure about him either. I've really not seen the guy play. So, I'm really not sure about him. He sounds good, but, 10, 12 million pounds signing from Marseille doesn't fill me with that much confidence. If we were to sign him and Haidara in January, I'd say, hey, that's actually, we've spread our bets a little bit there and we'll probably have much better midfield because of it. Big up Eddie's Football Waffle. Yes, thank you very much for Rushmano for all the transfer news. Victor spending time with his ill child, says Rushmano. Is that the situation, is it, Rushmano? Oh, shit, I didn't know that. Thank you, Rushmano, for giving us the latest on that. Right, okay. Hey, AR Dan, thank you very much for being a member for 15 months, boss. Come on. He says FIFA intends to publish its new agent regulations early next year, despite the threat of legal action from some of the football's biggest agents. Oh, okay, right. So this is where they are capping like agent fees and things like that. The proposals for that, is it, AR Dan? Hey, fair play. Hey, AR Dan, thanks for being a member of this channel for 15 months. Highlighted member there, Mr. AR Dan. Let's get a 15 months and a love heart in there for Mr. AR Dan. Always a positive supporter and legend of this channel. Thank you so much for getting in here, boss. Come on, AR Dan, let's go. Absolute legend. So, thanks, mate. Jay says, or play GTA or something, Piggy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking about it, guys. I'm not actually feeling that great at the moment. I've got Mrs. P round as well, and I'm not seeing her till Christmas again. That's only 4 days ago away, but I'm just undecided whether or not I should stream tonight. If I do stream, it's going to be not very long. So there you go. 102 likes. Get in there, Rushmano. Everyone smash the like if you're just joining. Yes, my controller has arrived, mate. Where is it? Here it is. This is it here. Can you see that? It's just it's called a Razer Wolverine Voot. It seems all right, mate. I don't know. I think I'm just starting to realise that maybe it's just me and I'm just shit at FIFA. It doesn't fucking matter what controller I use. Might as well use a broken one. But anyway, we'll see. Gunshi says, Soo. Shazan Ahmed says, Soo. There wasn't any lesbian action on that stream, Disco Dave, sadly, mate. There was not. It looks broken, says Johnny. Yeah, Jarvis Cocker says, congrats to AR Dan on 15 months. Yeah, that is amazing. Thank you so much. Eddie's Football Waffle with that love heart in there as well. Cool homies, thank you, bro. Says, hit that like for the piggy. Thank you, my son. Excuse me. Have I tried the Winter Wonderland Graham? He's a beast. Not yet, Frank S. I haven't, mate. I actually have not, son, but I will have a look into that soon. Okay, then. So, peeps, right. Yeah. Let's do this. Jonathan Gallagher with a €2 super chat. He says, why are we super confident we barely beat Norwich? Okay, I don't think we should be super confident going away at Newcastle right now. I actually agree with you, Jonathan Gallagher. And especially last couple of seasons, it seems like they've sort of, what's the word? They've actually done quite well against us, even though we beat them last time, it's at 4-1 or whatever. You know, some of these games have been a bit ropey against Newcastle over the years. They are bottom of the table, though, aren't they? Or right down the bottom of the table. Let me just, I think they're second from bottom. Let's have a look. Yep, they're second from bottom, just on the same points as Norwich. But you're right, we did just manage to beat Norwich, and they are bottom of the table. The only thing we got really to go on is that they're shite. They're 19th in the league. They've got minus 23 goal difference. They've literally won one game all season long. Do you know that? Newcastle United played 18 times this year in this season, and they've only won one game. That's fucking shocking. They've drawn 7 and lost 10. That is why we should feel confident going in there, because they're shit. In all fairness, like, we are not great for Manchester United standard, but we've still won the last 3 games in a row now. And Newcastle lost the last 3 games in a row, and they are 19th place, and they're shite. Now, Eddie Howe's a decent coach, but he can't work wonders. It's still a shite squad. He's still got Almiron in the team. So, you know, I think we're going to batter Newcastle United, mate. Of course we are. We're going to batter them. Thank you so much, though, Jonathan Gallagher. Get a soo in there for Johnny. Kerry E83 says, hit the like button. Thank you, Kerry. Appreciate that one. Get in there. Mrs. Piggy live stream says, Batman Night fan. I'd like her to do another one. We'll see. I don't know what we're going to do yet, guys. Hey, keep a look out. I'm not trying to, twist your nipples. I did say yesterday I was going to do a FIFA stream, so I feel like I should. But also, there'll be action every other night. I don't know. We'll have to see. Hey, Dan with a 50 Ron super chat. Let's go, mate. Thank you so much. He says, anytime, mate. Hope we'll have a better year in 2022. Man, that goes for everybody here. I hope everybody's 22, is brilliant and much better than this shite 2021 that we've seen, and indeed the shite 2020 before it. Let's hope 2022 is a bosh year for me, for you, for all of us, for Manchester United, and this great football club. Thank you so much, AR Dan. You're a bloody legend, mate. Merry Christmas. Let's get some Christmas tree emojis in there for Dan, and a Happy New Year to you, my friend. AR Dan, thanks so much, lad. We're a shitful club pig. You know what, Kate Cadet, mate? I don't like your attitude, mate. That's it. Time out. There you go, Kate Cadet. Didn't want to have to do it, but you can't say stuff like that in my live chat, mate. We're not a shit football club, mate. We're a great football club. One of the greatest football clubs in all the land. You know what, though? We're just in a bad period, and we've got truly shit owners. That's really what it's about. Kate Cadet, you've been timed out, lad. Right. I did time him out. Yeah, he's all right. He said he's going to be back in 5 minutes. He just needs to cool off a little bit there. He needs to calm down. You see, you got to nip it in the bud early with Kate Cadet. Soon he'll be in here disparaging the Welsh if you don't nip it in the bud. Do GTA, says Mason. We'll see. Herodi getting those Christmas trees, and Frank and Jarvis Cocker sub to Flying Pig. Yeah, there are lockdown rumours, David MacArthur, and also there's rumours about games having to go behind closed doors soon anyway. Right, guys, I mean, we're going to wrap this video up then, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do keep a lookout later for a FIFA video or something on the channel. We'll be on if Anyway, we'll probably be on. Frank HS Pearl 6891, you legend. What's going on? Cake loves a timeout, doesn't he? He does. He needs to think about his actions. Rushmano, thank you so much for getting in here. Jarvis Cocker, the Vutinator, sub to Flying Pig United as well. David MacArthur, Bell691, Frank, Big God Bob, Maguire equals no confidence. Maguire equals no neck. Gungshi, absolute legend. Have a great night, my son. Or great day, I should say, over in Taiwan, you legend. Take it easy. He's just ruthless. David MacArthur, Logan and Luan France as well. Cody Elder, Johnny, Eddie, David, Bell, Jonathan Gallagher, Rushmano, Amit Kumar, Cool Homie, Social 99, AR Dan, come on. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Do leave the like on the video before you go. Smash the thumbs up button. Do get yourself, subscribe to the channel if it's your first time on the channel. Do get yourself involved. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on, anything we've discussed. You can come back after this video has finished. Get your thoughts and opinions in the live chat. Get your thoughts and opinions in the live chat about anything. Sorry, in the not live chat about anything we've discussed. I'm just going to put the Cake Cadets channel in the live chat, seeing as we never shout him out. To be fair, he needs to do a proper stream and would give him a proper raid sometime. But there is this channel. Everyone check out Cake Cadets channel. I've just put it in the live chat there. Go and subscribe to him. He's actually got 30 subs now. So here it is. Go and give him some love. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the stream for me. See you later. Have a good one. Thank you, Haroli, David, Cody, Stephen, Rushy, Jarvis, and all of you bloody legends. Shout out to the Bacon Brigade. Much love to you guys. Catch you in a bit. And I'll be back tomorrow with the latest news and all the goings on. Thanks for watching. Catch you in a bit. Follow us on social media at Flying Pig United on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. And come on, United. And when see seagulls, follow see taller. As this is because they think sardines would be thrown into... This doesn't even sound like Cantona at all, does it? The Zoo! Zoo!